Alright everybody, we are back for final round here with our mono black attack. And I think this is definitely a keep. We've got pretty good curve if we can just hit that third land drop here. And there it is. I guess we'll see. We've played black every round. Oh, no black this time, I guess. The Undead Servants have actually been pretty decent. If you can get one in the graveyard and then play, we've had a few times where we've been able to make some zombie tokens, so it hasn't been too awful for us. Yeah, my question here, I think I'm okay with, I'd rather hold up my Fleshbag Marauder, I think. So I'll go ahead and play out my Shaman. And then attack in with the Fetid Imp. Trying to decide if I want to block. Oh, he didn't attack anyway. Wow. Kind of surprising. Unfortunately, we didn't get a land. I think we'll go ahead and play the Marauder, and we'll be able to get rid of his Servitor. Maybe. Maybe. We do get that land that we were hoping to get. And I'm going to attack in, even if he's got something like a Bounding Krasis here. It's okay. Not sure what he's... I think he waited until the instant, so he's not going to be able to block. Yeah, he waited just too late there. So everyone knows, that's a perfect example. If you want to block with a Mizium Meddler, if you want to flash that in, you need to flash it in at the after I've announced my attackers, and it's the attacker's instant and what is it, instant step. Yeah, right there I think he wanted to flash that in to take out our Deathbridge Shaman, but he waited until he was able to flash it in with the block, at which point you already have to have done your announcing your blockers. Alright, so this could get pretty cool here, actually. We've got our 3 Undead Servants in our hand. I'm tempted, though. You know, we could look to just do Way to the Underworld on, say, his Soulblade Djinn, just because that's going to be a card that could easily get out of control. Otherwise, we look to do our Servants. The unfortunate thing is we're not going to be able to... okay, so it'd be a 1/1, but it's got Prowess, basically. So he could pump it and still get past our Fetid Imp. I think for now, let's get the board going. You know, the unfortunate thing is with us playing against green-blue, about the only spell that he would be playing is like a Wild Instincts to get rid of our Servant, and the Meddler won't kill it. So we really need to try to get that in the graveyard. But we'll see how much he wants to attack, because we are representing a decent force. Yeah, I figure he'll attack in with that. I wasn't going to block anyway yet. Ooh, that doesn't quite help us. But if we can knock that card down some, I think that's what we'll look to do. You know, the unfortunate thing is, once again, we're not able to get our Fetid Imp, keep up mana for it. We may look to just languish, though, next turn. Ooh. Okay, so that's kind of surprising. I think let's get rid of the big guy, though. And this is going to put a servant in our graveyard, so we are going to be able to, at some point, use this to our advantage. And we're only taking 1 damage there. Alright, so I think we'll go ahead and languish here. I probably should have attacked in. Yeah, I definitely should have attacked in there, because I don't see him wanting to trade either of these cards. Oh, disperse, wow. Kind of a bummer there. But he does have to discard something, so... Oh, the Starfish, that's definitely a good card. We do have a removal spell in hand. We just need to draw that 1 land for it. That's okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play another Undead Servant. And they'll start doing a pretty good job on the board here. I feel like this whole time I've been saying we just need that 1 more land, and I wonder if doing 16 lands was definitely the best call. Might not be, but we've also had some games where we've been flooded, so, you know, it's just that variance that you see. Alright, there we go. So... yeah, we'll go ahead and... I mean, otherwise we could look to do the summons, but I'd kind of like to wait until I can get the +1/+1 counters on say, our Fetid Imp, if we bring that back again. And I'm actually going to go ahead and hold off. Yeah, I'm going to attack in here. The other thing I could look to do is I could do another Undead Servant and a Thornbow Archer, but I think that this Soulblade Djinn is just going to get out of hand. So we really need to get that off the board. But I'm going to wait and see if he does some kind of pump spells. Alright, so down to 5. Water Courser, that's okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and bring back our Fetid Imp, so we'll be able to block the Spirit. And we'll even have the mana up to give it Death Touch, plus I'll have the counters now. Okay. And now we're just hitting lands like crazy, which is okay. Here, I'm gonna go with the Warhorn. I'm gonna attack in with our Undead Servant. This way, if he kills it, we'll play the other one. But since he doesn't, we'll just go ahead and play out another blocker and keep up our mana for our Fetid Imp. He's going to get some card draw here, so we'll see what he picks up. Alright, so he does get a Leaf Gilder. Alright, so a big attack coming. Yeah, the difficult thing is whether we want to... Alright, so right now he's attacking for lethal easily. I could block with my Imp on his Spirit. Yeah, I could kill his Watercourser, but that's still going to leave us dead. So I think the Imp has to go on the Rock Maulers. And then maybe if we kill the Watercourser. Just put the Death Touch on there. Alright, this is going to be awkward. Yeah, so if we can kill the Watercourser, this way he's going to do 3 damage. Pretty certain he's got us. You know, looking back, him having that Disperse to use on his Soulblade Djinn when we did the Languish, definitely kicked our butt a little. Right now we could actually look to play Shadows of the Past, activate Shadows of the Past, get us up to 4 life, and we have blockers on the board. I think that's probably a better option than playing the Servant right now, because otherwise the Spirit is just going to take over. And we can actually wait to activate until his turn. Otherwise, we look to play the Undead Servant this turn. Take the hit from the Spirit, and then we just hope to gain enough life. I think the safest play is definitely the Shadows of the Past. I mean, the good thing is the Shadows of the Past can race the Spirit, though. And if we do the Undead Servant, we end up having a board that is going to be pretty difficult for him to deal with unless he draws a pretty good-sized creature. Yeah, I think we definitely want to hold up the Shadows of the Past for now. That is unfortunate. That is actually going to kill us. Yeah, because he'll get through with the Orchid Spirit. Okay. Yeah, him having that Bounding Krasis at the end of turn just made it so that not playing the Undead Servant was going to kill us. Alright, so... what are we looking to bring in here? We could look to do Guardians of Meletis, just as a way to possibly deal with like a rock smaulers. You know, but the thing is, if we're on the play, we could end up just being a very, very tough thing to deal with. I do think that that Dark Dabbling ended up being better than our Infernal Scarring, which we actually haven't drawn this whole tournament. All right, looks like spells and lands, so we'll keep it. So we'll go ahead and attack in. Hopefully he's got a kind of slow draw. It's too bad we weren't able to pick up a few more of these archers, because in a matchup like this, I think it would be pretty strong to be able to play a few of those. Oh, lands, get out of here. We definitely aren't looking to draw lands for about another 8 turns. So right here, I'm probably going to attack in with the Deathbridge Shaman. If he wants to trade, I'll just play the Dark Dabbling. Be able to draw a card and kill his guy seems great. And he doesn't do it, so we'll go ahead and do the Undead Servant. Getting off to a pretty good start here. You know, the unfortunate thing is these green-blue decks, they kind of get to the point where they can overrun you a little bit if you don't kill him quickly. And so he's got a Separatist Void Mage coming next turn, so we'll definitely want to make note of that. Golly, all these lands coming to us. And we'll just attack with the ones that will trade with his. I think right here, the more powerful card for us to keep on the board is going to be the Shaman. So I'm going to go ahead and regenerate that, draw a card, because the Undead Servant is just as strong in the graveyard as it is on the board for the most part. Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana to play or read the bones. But still, I think that was a pretty decent trade there. And so he plays in, jeez. This guy must have a lot of 3 and 4 drops. So we'll definitely take note that he's got those cards there. And our archer is not looking good at all right now. But we'll attack in here. You know, if he trades, he has to discard 2, or discard 1, that is. I would assume he's got a land. Okay. We'll go ahead and do read the bones first. And we don't need to draw a land yet, but we'll put the servant on top. And then we can play another shaman. So we know a few of his cards already. Yeah, he's just all creatures in his deck. Alright, so here we could look to Yeah, we're not looking at a profitable attack now with our Shaman against his Recluse. So we'll just go ahead and play our Servant and our Construct. This is going to get to be a pretty muddled board here. And I can actually attack in freely with our Archer, though. And get 1 damage at least. So we can do our Necromantic Summons next turn if we wanted to. And we actually have Spell Mastery too, because we've got Dark Dabbling and Read the Bones in the graveyard. We'll see what he throws back in our hand, though. That's a zombie, and that's fine. Not much we can do against the Drake right now. And so we can check off the Void Mage. We have seen him play that now. Ooh, Throwing Knife. That actually could be pretty good here. Yeah, I think we'll attach it, and we can kill his Void Mage. I expect him to block the Shaman and kill it, but I'm looking to do an all-out attack here. I want to clear off as much of his board as I can. And so at this point, we're gonna get 6 damage through. Oh, that is awesome for us. You know, maybe he's got some cards in hand that he really doesn't want to lose, and that's why he didn't take out the Deathbridge Shaman. That seemed like the play I would have gone for, but if he's got some big hitters in his hand, oh yeah, I mean, a Sephiroth's Void Mage is really good. Okay. More lands. The good thing is we can actually play both of our cards now, though. Let me see. There's a battlefield. Put a 2/2 zombie. So I believe that if we attack in with this, if he trades with the Void Mage, we can then use our Necromantic Summons on another Undead Servant and play our Deathbridge Shaman. Yeah, that seems to be the play I want to do. I'm gonna attack him with both because I'm completely expecting him to not want to take the hit from the Servant. I mean, he could block with the Recluse. Okay, and that's okay. The Archer actually seems pretty decent to pick up here, but it just dies to too much. So the Undead Servant doesn't do as much as I typically would want. So now I think we bring the Archer back. And then play the Shaman out. It's going to make it tough for him to kill our archer, and our archer is still going to get that 1 damage through just by attacking, unless he has a elf. Oh, but he just killed it, so... No wonder he didn't want to discard cards. He did have some really good cards in his hand. Here we can... I think I'll just go ahead and attack in with our Undead Servant. Tempted to attack in with both, actually, but for now we'll just do the Undead Servant, and then if he blocks with the Recluse, I can do our Eyeblade Assassin. To finish him off. So we do know that he still has this Mizium Meddler, so yeah, he just keeps drawing creatures. He's had some really good draws. Ooh, that is actually a very good draw as well for us, though. And there's not a big need to attack. Actually, well, yeah, because he's got the Mizium Meddler, so he can flash in a blocker. So we'll just go ahead and sit back, hold up some defense, and then use our activations of Shadows of the Past to hopefully win this game. I'm really surprised drafting a mono black deck that we didn't end up with 2 Shadows of the Past. Because that definitely seems like it's been one of our best draws, especially, you know, late game. It's been huge for us. So that was I feel like we did a bit better that turn. I don't really think Warhorn is what we want to do on the draw. We'll bring in Guardians of Meletus instead. And I'm tempted to do Touch of Moonglove. What would I do it instead of, though? Maybe a Read the Bones or a Way to the Underworld? Yeah, I'm going to do it over the Way to the Underworld. I think that might just be a little slow. And it's not outright removal, whereas, you know, giving Death Touch is just really powerful. I don't think 5 lands is the way that we want to start this. I think this, you know, 4 lands, but 2 creatures that we can play and do well with, hopefully. Alright, so let's get our Shambling Ghoul on here. The good thing is a lot of his creatures die to Languish. Ooh, he is missing land drops. That's just what we want to see. We do have the Languish backup, but I'm going to go ahead and get aggressive here. He does have those flash creatures, so we'll definitely want to make just remind ourselves of that in case he flashes in against our ghoul. But the good thing is we do have this Touch of Moonglove, which will be a surprise for him as well. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to untap my guy, that's cool. I I think we stay with the aggressive plan. Just keep the pressure on him. Okay, so Void Mage. Yeah, it's really not going to change a lot against us. Yeah, that's fine. And at this point, I'm not sure how much I will want to commit to the board. I think I'll play the Undead Servant instead of the Ghoul, though. Just because the Undead Servant being in our graveyard is just as important as being on the board. So that way, if we do end up having to languish it away, we're still in a decent spot. Okay, so here I think we'll play out the throwing knife. And we can attach it to our Undead Servant, attack in, and get rid of his Void Mage and still be threatening to his flyer. Now the only issue I have is if I end up drawing a land drop, what do I end up doing here? Trying to decide if it's worth it to just block if I'm thinking of languishing next turn. I think we just take the damage here and see what he plays. So he could definitely have that meddler guy in his hand because he's shown that he's got a good amount of flash creatures. Not this time though. Alright, so I'm gonna hold back playing our land. We'll see what he does here. Okay. I would love it if he would have played another creature there, but he didn't. So we'll go ahead and we'll just keep attacking him with this undead servant because it's better for us if he blocks it. So send to sleep, I think it's okay. I think at this time I'll decide to go ahead and I think it's worth it now to languish because we want to get rid of his big dudes. Those are two of his better cards in his deck. So we do want to get rid of those if possible. And then next turn we'll get to play out two creatures. And then do our Shadows of the Past the following turn. So right now we've got 3 creatures in our graveyard. Not quite enough to start activating Shadows of the Past, but we don't have enough next turn unless we drew a... Oh, actually. So we'll have a dead creature now. And so if we draw a land here, it's actually not too bad because we'll be able to activate it. Alright, cool. Go ahead and attack in. And we're just hoping to race here. What's he got? A Meddler's okay. I do want to activate this now with him having no mana. Just in case, like, say his end step comes, we know he's got to disperse, which I believe can pick up our enchantment. So if he were going to do that, that would be pretty unfortunate for us. There's a big old rhino. Alright, so... it's kind of unfortunate. We could do our Fleshbag Marauder, which is not going to do enough. But our Eyeblight Assassin sure isn't going to. So we'll just hold up our Shadows of the Past because that's going to be more important to us than playing the Fleshbag Marauder. Because he could just get rid of like his Mizium Meddler, which is not going to do much against us. Or not much for us, at least. So we're just trying to slow this down. I mean, a land is decent just because it can allow us to activate, but really we'd love a removal spell. Yeah, we really need to look for a removal spell, and one that we can choose, not this Marauder. So we've got a blocker, but he's going to be able to attack for 10, which we can't do anything about right now. Shoot. Alright, so if we hold up our activation, we can go up to 11. He attacks in for... He can attack for 11, but we can stop one of the damage. It's all going to depend on what's in his hand. The unfortunate thing is this Fleshbag Marauder is just not going to cut it for us. So I think we've got to rely on that Shadows of the Past activation. The life gain that we're going to get from it is going to be huge. If he gets a pump spell to put onto his Rock Maulers, we're just dead. But that's going to happen whether we play the Marauder or not. And whether we do it on the Meddler or on the Rock Maulers really doesn't change anything here. We have to do our activation so we don't die. Oh, jeez. Alright, so we got lucky there. Just barely eked it out. Shadows of the Past, obviously, our all-star. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It was, kind of fun, a bit nerve-wracking there at the end, but that was our forced monocolor draft, and we ended up with black. Seemed to do actually all right. Got 2 wins out of it. If you enjoyed this or other series that we can try to do, let us know. Put them down in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button. This once again is Josh from Basement Level Magic. Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.